Hey, you're listening to Don't Lie to Your Life Coach podcast with Kim Arrington. I'm Kim Arrington. I'm a life coach, a weight loss coach, an author, and a badass passionate about helping you connect back to your most authentic self. Join me here each week so I can coach you on how to think all those juicy thoughts that get you feeling your absolute best and taking some big ass action. Coaching has changed my life, and it can change your life too. I'm here to give you real life solutions to create a life you'll love. Because the truth is, boo, you ain't just got problems, you got options. Hey. Hello. How are you doing? Hey. You know, I do these part ones and I'm like, oh shoot. But I'm really like, oh shit, I got to get to part two. So back in April for the birthday edition, we got to talk about money part one. So today we are talking about, we got to talk about money part two. And I got to make this bigger, my notes bigger so I can see them. So, yeah, we got to do that. So let's get into it. I'm like, which one is it? Because I didn't put here's part two. I was on part one. So money. This episode was hard. I was shooketh. I was definitely shooketh doing this episode because my relationship, my positive, happy, understanding, sometimes not, a little, what was the word I was looking for? I just heard it. Glum relationship with money is there. And I think I felt a little bit insecure. That's the word. Insecure about talking about money with you all because it's such an emotional topic, but that's what I'm here for as a life coach, to talk about emotional things. And I'm going to be honest, as I've gone deeper in this weight loss journey, I see the connection between money, love, and weight loss. There is a connection between that. So pondereth on that. We will talk about it on another episode, okay? But let's talk about money. I felt like this go around in 2023, I was learning about money for the first time. In the episode, we got to talk about money, part one, you'll learn that I felt a lot of guilt about money. And so this time in 2023, I was learning about money, but I was letting the guilt go. I was letting that go. So, that was a big thing for me. And I'm sure there's some of you all out there like me who grew up with enough money, who are letting the guilt go, right? And then in your young adulthood, you did some things to sabotage money because you felt maybe uncomfortable. I feel like this is like the middle class malady, which is the middle class money malady, which is I had enough. I see these people who didn't. I feel bad about that. So I create situations where I don't have as much as I could because I feel guilt. Remember, guilt is something I did wrong. It's wrong for me to have these things. It was wrong for me back in the time I had these days. And shame, I am wrong. I am wrong because of money. And we're going to get out of that. We got to get out of that. So my goal is a B.S.I.E, which is, I want to change the letters, but B.S.I.E, budget, save, invest, enjoy. That is not in any certain order, but I want enough money. And I want you to think through this. enough money to be able to budget, to have a budget that you actually love. Like I hear people all the time, I hate paying my bills. I want to get to the point where I don't want to hate paying my bills because these lights are doing service for me. That water bill is doing service for me. Even the more frivolous things like that, that Spectrum cable bill is doing things for me. Okay. That cell phone bill is doing things for me. So budget, save. So a lot of people say 30%. I'm way more conservative than that. I think the savings should be bigger if you're able to do that, which means that some of us have to look at how much money we're bringing in. That's not this episode. I do want to talk at some point with you about, we got to talk about money, episode 3, part 3, where what to do when you want to bring in more money, right? Because I do coach people on that. And then also the enjoy. Hopefully y'all can't hear my AC. I usually turn it off and I forgot. So my AC actually feels assaultive in summer. I have to keep it on 74 when I'm in the house because I am cold. Okay. So one of the things I want to tell you about, I was using the word overspending, but Becky Blackburn in the Haas Lady podcast, I will link her. Becky Blackburn got me into thinking about overbuying because overspending had a lot of stuff on it, but overbuying was kind of like a new word, and it allowed me to think about not just buying. For some reason for me, that gave me agency. It made me feel like I had power to like not buy extra. And I'll give you an example. So I'm going to be going to Martha's Vineyard. By the time this comes out, I'll have been to Martha's Vineyard and had a great time. And I have a pair of sunglasses that I love. And I was like, I would like to get another pair of sunglasses. Y'all, I am the sunglasses cop. I have to have sunglasses when I'm outside. Like it's my thing. If I don't have sunglasses, I'm not happy. So I was like, I'm going to bring 2 pairs. So I have one I've had for a while, and I'm going to either buy the same pair or get another pair. They're from Target. Okay. A New Day sunglasses. All right. So, anyway, my natural instinct was with Target, to get it for free, you got to spend $35. So my natural instinct was like, why don't I get 2 pairs and then add something else? So I'll get to $35. But that's overbuying. First of all, I don't need anything right now. And secondly, I would rather just make a trip when I'm on that side of town and purchase 1 pair. The glasses I think are $15.99. And not try to overbuy so they could come to my house. Yeah, Target, I got your little trick right there. I ain't falling for it. So I'm going to get 1 more pair of sunglasses because I've had these sunglasses before. I've probably I've had 3 pairs. One of them died. One of them broke. I had another pair. So if this one breaks, I want to have the other pair and I want to take them with me to Martha's Vineyard, right? So that was an example of overbuying, trying to get another discount, save $5.99 on shipping, but spend, $20 extra. You see what I'm saying? So overbuying can be sneaky, but here's the thing. I can't express to you the calm, the peace that I felt from not spending constantly. And honestly, spending means what I just did. It seems really like safe and easy, not a big deal. But think about doing that 10 times in a month and you've spent $150 extra. And it's not just like money with something like that, but like getting ready. Do I really? I mean, I see these women on Instagram, God bless them. I'm not getting a hairdo, like a facial, $180 nails before I go on vacation. I'm gonna dye my hair. I will get my toes done and I will probably get a manicure. for my fingers and just paint them clear when that is gone. And that's all, folks. I'll do my own facial, okay? So overbuying can have multiple categories. We can overbuy for our kids. If you're always buying a toy for your kids when they're at the, the supermarket with you, or, one of those big box stores, or feeling like you have to always go through the drive-through, right? So I'm going to talk about some of that, especially with food later. So I've been peaceful. Was I peaceful at first? No. And I got a quote for you. I was like, what's a quote I can use? James Clear says this perfectly, right? So major life change, moving to a new city, starting a new job, ending a relationship, getting married, having kids, stopping buying, going on a new weight loss journey will often make life harder for the first 100 days before improving. This is not always true, but it's a nice reminder that experiencing early struggle doesn't mean it was a bad choice. That is a big one. Like when you make a change, it might suck some from the beginning. In the beginning, and to be honest with you, I can't even remember that because I started this in February and I actually started it with saying, I'm not buying any clothes, no extraneous hair accessories, no shoes, no earrings, nothing. The only thing I allowed myself was bras. I'm gonna get some new bras, but I'm gonna wait until Soma has them for $3 for $99. Okay, I'm not gonna buy them full price. Some hiking shoes. I'm gonna wait until DSW. I have a brand that I like. They're gonna be on sale. They got to be at least 25% off for me to purchase. And then some Brooks running shoes. And I'm gonna buy last year's model because those are $90 instead of $140. So you see, I have left space, but our friends launching clothing lines and doing all this stuff. Yeah, but I have to commit to what I've said. And it's weird to be that rigid, but because I'm really building trust with myself. I keep looking at the microphone. So today, this is so funny. All right. So for this podcast, I'm actually trying it without using my camera. And so I'm used to looking up for my camera. So I keep looking at the microphone. So if you're on YouTube, you're like, why the hell is she not looking in the camera? It's because I'm used to looking higher, but I'm trying this out to see if this creates better video. So we'll see. Stay tuned. Anyway, so I'm going to have to say no on certain things and not over explain about it. Just because a friend launches something doesn't mean I have to be the first in line. Maybe I tell people about it who'd be into it. Maybe I say, hey, this would be a great gift for someone. Get someone else to overbuy. No, or maybe we go on a walk, and if they, say, hey, have you bought this? I'll be like, it just has bumped up against this thing I have. Maybe someone's, my husband says, hey, what do you want for this holiday? And I'm like, hey, can you buy me this? So at the end of the day, there are other ways to support our friends that are in alignment with what we are doing too. So I've told a lot of the people in my life I'm doing this, so most of them wouldn't even ask. Our room is cleaner. I really think there is a connection between clutter and cleanliness and buying new things. Our room has been cleaner. There has been less stuff to tend. Everything has its place. The house has been cleaner. I think that there is a conscious awareness of taking better care of what I have and putting things in their place. Now, I do want to share, I'm going to pull this up on Facebook. Clearly I didn't come prepared. I'm going to give you some of the tips because the Haas lady, Becky, has been on her personal Facebook page. She has been sharing some tips. I'm doing a no buy. I'm doing a no buy year. And I honestly, the way that habits work, this is going to impact me forever, So some of the things she says, Like, so I told you guys I'm on a clothing band, right? The average woman owns around $550 worth of unworn clothes and shoes. How do I combat that? Plus, I have been wearing a lot more because I ain't buying more. So if you're always bringing stuff in, you're not as aware of what you already have. So I've put all my new things towards the front of the closet. And believe me, I had a bunch of new stuff, shoes I haven't worn, bags, all that at the front of my closet so I can wear those things and get them into the rotation. Because I'll never forget Peter Walsh saying on Oprah, I'm still looking at the damn mic, Peter Walsh saying on Oprah, how we wear 20% of our clothes 80% of the time. So what happens if we wear 80% of that other 80% of our clothes? That's I call it shopping in your closet. It's new stuff waiting on you, okay? And then another thing that she talks about, I'm going to wait till I get down to that one. That's number 5. So let me go back to number 3. Everything now is more special because I'm not constantly bringing something new in. So think about that. Think about if you got to the point where it was way less painful for you to be overbuying, and then you looked at your stuff. Like I'm going back through my audiobooks. I actually use the library now to listen to audiobooks. And I had someone gift me some Audible credits, and I turned off Audible after, okay? I am a trial queen, so I will catch up on a show on a free trial. Sorry, not sorry, okay? But when I go out to eat, because we are cooking a lot more, my stepson is cooking more, my husband's cooking more, I'm kind of the brains behind the operation. I cook enough for, multiple things, or I'll take, for instance, grilled chicken I made and then make it into enchiladas or make it into quesadillas or something, a soup or something like that. So I'm repurposing food, but it's more special. When I go out to eat, it's more special. Like I say no to my friends so much about going out to eat that when we actually do go out to eat, it's more special. So I still am doing it. But like I probably eat out 1 to 2 times a week versus when I used to eat out all of the time. It was like my treat yourself was going out to eat. Okay. So think about this, like it actually becomes more special and it's really nice. Like, I'm like, this is really good. Like, but it doesn't make me want to do it more. And that's important. However, number 4 is old habits hang on, but you are stronger. That goes back to those sunglasses. I almost justified myself pushing buy and on those sunglasses. And I was like, no, like I still sometimes experience the old me coming up. And then I have to decide, So when you are changing and going to a new habit, you're going to experience that. Okay. Sometimes it's just reminded me of the story I was supposed to tell y'all in the beginning that I absolutely did not tell you. So I will save it for the end of the podcast. So you got to stay now to hear this. Okay. Yes, groceries. I had to stop overbuying groceries. So imagine this, when I first let go of spending a lot of money on stuff, I actually started spending more money on groceries. And then going back to number 4, old habits, hang on, you're stronger. I had to talk to myself and say, you are buying too much on groceries. So this is what Becky said. She said 40% of food goes to waste. And the average family spends $1,500 on food that they do not eat. Ouch. Now, I will say, you guys know, I have a weight loss program. Go to kimarrington.com/weight loss that is going to be premiering in the summer. And I teach something called Half Life, and it actually helps you eat less, save money, save the stress of figuring out what you're going to eat. So I already was kind of in the frame of like being able to let food stretch, but automatically when I stopped spending on clothes and frivolous shit, I was like, oh, but food is a safe category. Absolutely not safe. I remember going to my mom's 3 years, 4 years, let's just say it's 10 years after I moved out. And I was like, Mom, you're still buying food for a family of 4. Stop it. I had to tell myself, stop it. Now my food has gone down. I also really utilize our deep freezer, frozen vegetables, so things don't go bad. I do buy fresh, but I think about that, okay? Let's move to number 6. And I already kind of said this. My people are into me. They're used to me now saying no about eating out all the time, and I switch it to an experience. So I have 2 gym buddies from Burn, Anna and Lori, and I told them about, look, I'm not spending a lot of money. I'm not doing this. And we, after class one day, went to Lori's amazing front porch, and Anna brought over some cookies that her husband had made. And, Lori had us coffee. And so next time we do porch time, maybe I'll bring the lemonade and, and I don't know, something I've made. So I'm usually more savory than sweet, but I do like a good sweet. Anyway, the point is that hiking dates that are free, art galleries, they're free, outdoor concerts. Like there's a host of free stuff, especially in the summer. My husband and I just went to the Museum of Durham History free, and we enjoyed it, right? So I'm really look for free events. I still do pay for events. I just probably pay for stuff a fourth of the time now. So imagine a third of the time it's free. Is that math right? Okay. 3 times out of 4 is free, and 1 time it is a paid experience, because I do believe in paying for experiences. Okay. I already told you I've been wearing more of my clothes. That's number 7. And that's been fun to wear earrings. It's like shopping, like wear earrings I haven't worn, wear shoes I haven't worn. Hey, I'm even painting my toes. And that was a big one, y'all. So before I go to Martha's Vineyard, I am going to get a pedicure and a manicure, but I have been painting my toes and my nails in between time. That is huge, because I like to get a manicure and pedicure, but I've been like soaking my feet and got some little tools and doing it myself. So that is a labor of love, but it saves me. And I still will go back to my beloved nail tech, who I've been going to 20 years. She sent me a text, not a "where are you," but like a 4th of July text. Yes, she'll be like, "Where have you been?" And I'll just tell her, and she'll understand. She knows I'm always going to come back to her. Okay. Oh, this is a fun one. I get to be a little judgy, and it feels good. Yeah. Sometimes I'm a little judgy. Sometimes I see people who were me, and I'm kind of like, remember that? Ain't there no more. Or I see even some of my buds, and I'm like, it's their choice, but I do feel kind of good that I'm on the other end of this. So yeah, y'all, I can be a little judgy. Even as a coach, I could be a little judgy, and I can understand where I've been, because where I want to go. Okay. Number 9 is I value my time alone, but I also really value my time with friends. Like, I think that stepping away from all the material things have made me think about what really matters. And what really matters for me is like the time I have alone. I've been way more creative, but also the time that I get to have with my loved ones. I feel like I'm more present. We can only put these damn phones down. Y'all, I think phones have just, if you want one thing that I think has, well, 2 things I think have run the most amok in relationships: technology and attachment style. Okay. So I have a podcast I will attach to this, but I think differing attachment styles and technology are huge relationships disruptors. And so kind of like my next thing, I'm going to talk to you about Jesse. I think it's Iser. He's married to Sarah Blakely, that dude. I saw one of his reels on TikTok or Facebook or somewhere, and I'm going to talk to you about that, because a winning habit can get rid of some of that disruption that technology brings. Okay. So number 10, I'm just less worried about what I spend my money on, because I'm not constantly spending it. And my two categories I love to spend on are experiences and travel. Experiences and travel. So when I go to Martha's Vineyard, I'm still going to be frugal, fabulous, but I'm going to indulge a little more than I would indulge if I was here in Durham. And in terms of experiences, I just told Victor, I was like, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to save that. Okay. When we get to the experiences, I'll come back to 10 and tell you what that is. All right. And 11, it's brought my husband and I closer because now we are strategizing, we are dreaming together, we are thinking about the future, we are kind of holding each other, not accountable in a really terrible way, but like, hey, maybe we can do this instead, and coming up with solutions. And that, so much of relationships feel like they're problem solving, but sometimes there's a form of problem solving where it's actually really empowering. And that has been the situation here. Okay, so I want to talk to you about the thing I was supposed to talk to you about in the beginning, which is okay, I'm a butcher dude's name. I already told you his name is Jesse Iser. I'm just gonna say Iser. I don't know. He's Sarah Blakely's husband, like I said. Isn't it nice when someone's like, he's such and such his husband? Y'all know who Sarah Blakely is, right? She's the creator of Spanx. Sold the business, gave money to people, part of the proceeds to her employees. Really cool. Okay. So he talks about, and I'm gonna probably butcher this word, it's misogi, which is a Japanese term that refers to and this, y'all know these are Westerners now. If I talk to my Japanese friends, they probably be like, Kim, this is all wrong. That's why I went a little deeper, okay? Anytime we have, white folks talking about other cultures things, I'm going to go deeper, okay? Or, anybody, even me, if I'm talking about somebody, other cultures' names, things, I'm going to go deeper, okay? So it's a Japanese term that refers to a unique and challenging practice of purification. And in traditional culture, misogi involves immersing oneself in cold water or standing beneath a waterfall to purify the body and the mind. Thinking about when I was in Colorado and I literally was touched a waterfall. It was amazing. So the other thing about it is there are two rules. It has to be really hard, with only a 50% chance of success, and you can't die. So it can't be so harmful that it'll take you out. Now, it has to be relatively safe. I ain't really following those rules, but I just thought I would be a purist in that. So what Jesse talked about was three things. I don't know if I can link the podcast, not the podcast, the reel, but I'll try. He talks about the things that have changed his life. One of them is this misogi, where he takes a year-long focus on something that he can achieve, and he can say, oh, 2022 was this focus, 2023 was this focus, 2020 was this focus. Okay, so a big year-long goal. And then he talks about Kevin's rule. Kevin's rule is he has a neighbor, he's a blue-collar dude. They went and took their kids on this big wintry hike up a mountain. I don't remember the name of it, but his friend, he says is the happiest person he knows, will every other month, like, he's committed to having 6 mini adventures every year. So if you start this at 40, remember midlife, yay, and you do 6 mini adventures, that's like 12 months out of the year, y'all. You can do 6, right? I don't even care if it's every other month. And if you do that until you're 80, you have 240 mini adventures. That is a full, lovely life. Y'all, this is where I'm talking about with the experiences, right? So those mini adventures are those experiences that I don't mind paying money for. And like my August mini adventure is going to be Martha's Vineyard. And then my October mini adventure, Victor and I are going to take an archery class. And that's exciting. I've always wanted to do archery. And I have an uncle who try to teach me with a bow that was so hard to pull back. What do you call it? Is that a quiver? Am I saying that right? I don't remember. But we're going to take archery. He said that would be really cool. So we're going to do that in October. So 6 mini adventures a year. I am willing to pay, I think the archery is $35 a person. If I'm not spending money frivolously on everything, tons of food or clothes or things I don't really need, extra groceries, $35 to go to archery is not a big deal. Like one of my mini adventures might be doing mini golf. I don't know. I get to decide. That's part of the fun, is deciding what it's going to be. And the last thing he talks about is every quarter having a life enhancing habit. I said life enhancing. I don't remember what he said. So, and I told you like I'm going to come back to that. So a life enhancing habit might be that I one quarter focus on learning Spanish, or one quarter I focus on getting a meditation practice, or one quarter I focus on getting up 10 minutes earlier so I can take a walk outside. So at the end of the year, you could have 4 life enhancing habits. Now, it's a little much to me, but I could definitely say at the end of the quarter, I might have 2 to 3. I might decide to do 2 quarters on the thing so it really sticks. But the point is that you are changing your habits in ways that support you. So this doesn't have to cost. Like you can go to the library and figure out your mini adventures, y'all. If your library is like ours, it's like 15 mini adventures in the library, okay? Or a book or what have you. So that's kind of how I'm choosing to do things, where I'm being conscious with the way I spend money, or I'm not spending money at all, okay? What I want you to think about when it comes to money is where you've been doesn't have to be where you are or where you go. Like money can be evolving. When I began working on money, I got my nose in some books. One of those books was, and I recommend this for anyone on the stage of this, is I Will Teach You to Be Rich. I hope I'm getting that right. I will link it in the notes. That's a personal finance book. But what I love about that book too is the author really, and there's a Netflix show too, I will link that as well. What I love about that is the fact that you get to decide what your category of life you want to spend money in. And for me, that is experiences and that is travel. And I've actually always been like that. Okay. The other book that was so helpful to me, and I've talked about this in the first podcast, I believe, was The Psychology of Money. Yes, it's nerdy, but I loved it. And here's one of the main takeaways from The Psychology of Money for me is that the author wanted, y'all notice how I say the author because I don't trust my saying their names at all. I've barely got my kids' names. But what I like about the author of The Psychology of Money is he ended up paying off his house, paying off his car. All the experts were like, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you need to take that interest and you need to whatever. But for him, financial unbreakability was that he always had a house to go to and he had a car that was going to work conceivably for the next however many years. And that's my dream, is to be able to have things paid off, pay in cash, not have to finance, all those things. If you do those things, it doesn't matter, but you get to decide. I want you to think about right now, like, what's one dream or a couple of dreams you have when it comes to money? What is something that you would like to grab onto when it comes to money? Instead of always being scared about money, what can you do that makes money feel safe, comfortable? Like I told you, when I stopped spending so much, calm. But I'm going to be honest with you, because you don't lie to your life coach, right? I'm going to be honest with you. Just not spending isn't going to get you there. Like, you're gonna have to do the work to not spend, which will be your budget, and not spending can be your save. Invest For me, I'm a slow grow. So it's going to be those index funds through, a mutual fund or through 401k, 403b, you got that Roth IRA. But you also have to have the enjoy, because if you're so rigid with money, you're going to get yourself in trouble. It's like someone who just eats a baked potato, steamed broccoli, and grilled chicken. You're going to eventually tire of that and potentially go all the way to the other end of eating tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff, instead of just like what I teach you at weight loss, which is I teach you can eat everything. I just teach you how to eat everything in a way that you love. Okay. So that's what this money episode, first of all, let me just check in with myself. I felt way less scared. I felt way less like y'all are judging me for trying to talk to you about your money. I'm just telling you, like, there's something I've coined, a phrase I've coined called spicy 3 issues. Spicy 3 issues are like your 3 biggest issues. And what I teach my clients is to identify those, and one by one we solve. Like, we solve one, and then we're almost solving one. We open the can on another one, and then we begin solving that. We kind of revisit the first one to make sure we're in a good place. And then we go to the third one, and then we're looking at all of these. And I'm going to share this story. I ain't asked permission, but last night I dreamed about one of my clients. And I dreamed she studies martial arts. And I dreamed she was sitting at my table, and she, like, I don't know what you call it, the chop they do where they break the board. She chopped my wood. I actually have this, my wood cutting board and my glass cutting board. She chopped it and broke it perfectly in half. And she reached out to me today, and I was like telling her about the story. We were laughing about it. But she told me that she is down a pretty big amount of weight. And I didn't say this to her because I have a session with her tomorrow where I'm going to be like, well, we've been dealing with your spicy 3 issues. So when you deal with the issues, you don't eat about the issues. So she's really more of a life coaching client. But that's the thing. When you listen to this podcast, if you're not on a weight loss journey, you're going to get something. But if you listen to this podcast and you're on a weight loss journey, I'm going to help you solve for these spicy 3 issues, or these things that really bug you. So then you're less likely to eat about them. And when you're less likely to eat about them, then weight leaves, weight releases, you're more relaxed. And this is exactly what I had to teach myself to lose 65 pounds. I had to learn how to release those things and not eat about what was happening in my life. And we'll be talking a lot about that. That's a huge component of my weight loss program, is teaching you how to kind of look at the issues, identify them, and realizing you don't have to eat about them. Okay. So anyway, yay. Could there be a part 3? There could be. This is the overbuying issue. We're going to stop doing that. All right, y'all. I will see you next week. Love you, mean it. Y'all have a great day. Are you feeling what you just heard? Good. Repeat after me. You don't have to figure it out on your own again anymore. I'm here to help. Head over to KimArrington.com and download my free video series dedicated to getting you feeling your best right now. Look around, there's some good stuff waiting on you. Got questions? Well, we're always talking on the socials, so find me on YouTube, Insta, and the book. Don't be shy, y'all. Go listen to another episode or join me here the same time next week. Finally, don't keep good shit to yourself. Share this with a homie that could use some help too. Remember, we're not lying to ourselves anymore. We're not lying to our doctors. And you damn sure don't lie to your life coach.